Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, April 18th, and today is RODY Day, Options Day, weekly recap of the options trades. Again, for the week ending April 18th, well, April 17th, technically, to see how we did. The week was freaking green, man, which is great and all, but come on, bro. You blew through my calls. You're killing me. Like, who expected this type of recovery this fast? I mean, it again, like we said, it's great. It's great for our maybe certain things, but not something where we got covered calls. But let's take a look how we did either way. Did we make money this week? Did we get destroyed? How we doing? All right. Loud and clear says double D. Thank you. Thank you. The first one here is the biggest Woody. Still doesn't have an icon. He's got to get himself an icon on YouTube. Alan is also here. Wolf is here. Good morning. Good morning. And yeah, man, we'll as others roll in, we'll keep an eye. I'll keep an eye there. Bitcoin update. We're doing freaking good, man. We are doing good. We did hit what's the high here? 78,000. Now we're down to 76, and no shocker. It's you can't expect this big jump and not to go back down. Any sell-offs in between. So I'm not saying we'll go back to the 60s, but hey, maybe low 70s, and then we'll pop again and do it. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, and then follow the journey along the way. Okay. Yeah, this is something I was looking at. I'm actually going to post this on X later. I was looking at the 25% target funds, FYI. NVIT, man, NVIT, pretty good performer, by the way. So, but yeah, we're not here to talk about that. Let's get to the trades. We'll start with Open. Open, man, oh man. Let's pull up Open, actually. Look at this week from Open. Open had a really good week. We go to the 5-day, and it's up 22%. I mean, that's great, right? It is. It's awesome. I have a synthetic position on Open. It's a $7 average cost basis, essentially. And, it expires in November. So November of this year. So it's not much time left. But, again, ideally, the way things are headed, it may actually end up being an overall profitable position. Like I said from previous videos, I'm getting out of the single ticker business. I just can't do it anymore. I mean, it's fun and all, but I gotta limit myself. But I'll see Open all the way through, hopefully. But regardless, I had three $7 covered calls that expired yesterday. Obviously, it did not hit 7 yet. But it did hit 529. So obviously, these three, they just expired worthless. I was going to roll them, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Just leave it alone. And then for this week, I did sell 2 covered calls, $7 strike. Again, I'm still doing the 7, no lower, because, again, just in case I get caught, I want to keep it at the long call cost basis, essentially. These expire in May 22nd. Obviously, that's long dated, but that's where the money is. And I didn't make much at the time. I only made $22 this week. So if I scroll down here, $22 on a investment risk of 3,830 is a 29. Oh my God, I did not zoom. Sorry, guys. Is a 29% annualized yield. Is that good? No. But it's good enough. It's better than nothing, as we say. And, we'll just keep on keeping on with this position. If I look at the actual synthetic value, if I paid to close it today, if I got out of it, I'd pay $50. But I'm not doing that, right? It's better than what it was, like we said. So the value of everything is getting better as the market gets better. So Open overall, it's doing all right. It's doing aight. All right. Let me check the comments. I'm over here. You guys left me alone. Yeah. Sorry. I am broadcasting on both the Retire on Dividends and the Retire on Options channel and X, of course. So yeah, I don't know where the majority of people are. And eventually, yes, I'm going to stop doing this and I'll just pick one, I'll just do the retire on options channel. I'm just doing this now to kind of grow the other sub channels that I did create, and then eventually, build them out as their own little entity. It's going to take a while, but it'll get there. I ran. Oh, okay. So that's good for my covered calls, which you'll see. Not good for. Well, is that why Bitcoin barely went down? But yeah, I don't know, man. All right, good to know. Thank you for the update. All right, SoFi, how we doing? SoFi. Of course, I started. This position. It's funny, and I know people say this all the time too. Like, I didn't do anything. I said I'm just waiting, and I was like, you know what? Let me sell calls individually. And as soon as I started doing that, here we go. We're blown through. We blew through my freaking calls. But okay, so I had a $16 covered call and an 18, right? Where is it? Look at SoFi. SoFi jumped to 1943. Like, SoFi hasn't moved its ass in so long. And then you sell a covered call and then it moves its ass. It's up about 20% for the week. So, geez. All right, so anyway, I had a $16 covered call expiring yesterday. What was I going to do, right? I mean, I was blown through, so I rolled it. And I rolled it, as you know, this SoFi position, this, as we call it, like the RODY play, this is a long dated. So I got plenty of time, which is awesome. The synthetic expires June 16th, 2028. Just keep that in mind. And I have various positions. I have a 25, a 23, a 20, an 18, and a 15, right? If you add all that together, technically my overall cost basis is 2020. But I've been selling calls on an individual cost basis. I've been separating them out because I got impatient and I wanted to make some damn money. So that being said, that's why I had a $16 covered call, because that was against the $15 position. All right, so I said, all right, I'm going to roll this up and out, up $1, out to whatever. So the first, so I moved it up to 17. The first date where I saw credit was May 29th. All right, so that's 44 days out. Is that ideal? Not really. But again, this, you saw, we expired 2028, and this is just one of the contracts. What was the credit I got? I got $8. So again, we don't know. This could be all hype on the SoFi jump. I'm not going to be paying no debits to freaking roll. So I'm going to roll for a credit, and I'm going to roll up. I am willing to go as far out as needed to roll it up $1. And guess what? When 529 comes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to roll it up another $1, and I'm going to get a credit wherever that date may lie. That's what I'll do. The hope is I don't get assigned early, of course. That would not be fun. But guess what? If it happens, it happens. So be it. And like I said, if SoFi drops back down, now I don't care because it's better for this position. And then I could readjust them. I also had an $18 strike that expired yesterday. And I did the same exact thing. 18, obviously, much better spot than the 16. So I rolled that 18 up $1. And I sold it 21 days out to a May 8th expiration. Okay, that was the first credit I can get. And that paid me $8. So both of them essentially paid me $8. Is that good? It's okay. It's okay. That's it. And then I sold against my 20. I had a 20 and a 23. Sold 2 more covered calls on those. On the 20, what did I get? I got, where the hell is it? $11 and $18. So for the week, for SoFi, let me cap it, put the line, that way it's done. Let's add them up. Made about $45. Again, I was making nothing on SoFi. So $45 is fantastic for me. All right, so if we look at $45 versus the total investment expense, that's $5,634. That is a 41% annualized yield. All right, is that good? Yes, fine, it's good. Anything above 40, I'm pretty happy. And again, SoFi has been running, man. We knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. But again, I'm glad I did dollar, cost average down essentially through the synthetic positions. I did stop at the 15, right? I did not, it didn't really go any lower than that. So, again, we'll see how it goes though. And then I check my synthetic position. It's now worth $2,493 as of today. It's not worth more than what I spent on it though, but that's okay because we got a lot of time left. And I'm not here to make, it's not about making money on the synthetic. It's about making income, weekly income. And we're making weekly income. And again, in the end, hopefully the synthetic cashes out to be worth something, but that's not till 2028. All right. Sound good? Great. Any questions, let me know, by the way. I'll answer them. I'll pause. I don't care. This video, this is your guys' video. This one. This is for you. All right. Jake is here. Where's Jake? There he is. Jake, what's going on? Oh, wait. Now we got two Jakes? Now I'm confused. Which one's the Jake? No, this is the CG Jake is the Jake from the Roundtable. This Jake, I'm not sure who that Jake is. Are you in the options Discord? Either way, it doesn't matter. But thank you both. Thank you, Jake from State Farms, for being here. All right. Let's move on to IWM. Same story, guys. IWM got destroyed. I got blown freaking through, man. Cost basis on the synthetic 260. What was I doing? I was selling calls at 260, making crap. Crap. Yeah. I mean, not crap, but you know what I mean. It just sucks because look at this, man. It jumped to 275. Are you kidding me? I mean, let's look at after hours. I'm sure there's nothing reflected. Yeah, it's even up in the after hours, but that's as of 8 p.m. last night. So if we go here again, so normally what I do is I do a rolling order. I roll up the strike, as you saw, just like on the others, $1. However, on these, I'm less willing to go out a week. I'm sorry, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, months. I like to keep it at 1 week because these are my money makers, right? These are the money makers. So on these, I have a different, thought process. So it's either I roll it up $1 for a credit, done, your case closed, or if I can't get a credit with $1 increase in strike, I'm just going to roll it at the same exact strike. And that's what I did. I rolled it at the 260. I got paid a whopping $36. Whoopie freaking do. I know. And I have to wait. I have to see what happens with the market. Is this little run up? Is it a bit much? Is it coming back down? If it does, great. Then I can get, I can essentially probably roll this up a little next week. If it does not, then I have to adjust my position. And I've done that before. It's a pain in the ass, but hey, it's all about learning too. You have to adjust the position. The idea is when I say adjust, I'm talking about adjusting the synthetic, which means moving it, to a different strike, making some money in the process, and moving the covered call, essentially paying a debit to close the covered call, but using the credit from the synthetic to offset the expense of the debit. Ideally, creating a net profit, in the end sometimes. But if it doesn't, then I'm not doing it. Then I'm closing it out and saying, bye-bye, see you later, on to the next one. But we'll see how it goes. All right. But anyway, for this week goes $36. That's what I made. How much did that yield me? $36. I'm risking 4,269 on this position. That is a 43% yield. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not like last week, 336% yield. But I got greedy, man. I could have moved that strike up a little. But who would have known, man? Who would have known? We can't freaking predict this crap. And again, if the Strait of Hamas or whatever the hell is closed again, maybe it will be red Monday. I don't freaking know. Again, I'm not here to time the market. I'm here to just make some freaking income, pay the bills, and move on. All right, IWM, how's this synthetic doing? It's doing freaking awesome. It's worth $2,952. Again, I originally paid $2,269. But don't forget, if I were to close this position, I have to close my covered call, and that costs money. So obviously, this 2,952 is not all profit. You got to use some of that to pay off your little covered call that you got blown through, if that makes sense. All right. Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, I know you. All right. Why the hell does it say Jake? All right, whatever. Do you do any chart reading? I don't understand them at all. Trade options despite that. No, I don't. I pretend I do. And then I look at it, I'm like, I have all the indicators. I set it up and I still do not use it. I can't. I just don't. I don't have the patience nor the time to sit and look at charts. I know that's stupid to say, but hey, I don't care. Someday, and I will keep saying it, someday I will. And that will be, I'll be a smarter investor when I have more time to actually think about what I'm doing. All right, let's move on to the Qs. Same idea, of course, I got blown through. We have a 615 synthetic position. My call, how's my call doing? Yeah, I did not move it to 6. I had to keep it at 615. So 615 was my covered call. And what happened? Well, I mean, let's look at the 5-day. I mean, it just flew, man. I know it was going to fly up, but it's an index. You don't expect 6% in a week. I mean, damn, like woof. Like, wow. All right. So, that being said, it was at 610 last week. Now it jumped to 647. Obviously, blew through that 615 covered call. So what do you do, right? What do you do? Again, typically on the Qs, which I always loved, I can move it up $1, no problem, because of the size of the fund. It's worth $600. If I move it up to 616, sure, I should get a credit. But guess what? This week, I chose 616. I chose 424 expiration. No credit. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be freaking kidding me. So guess what I had to do? I had to choose 615 again. Like, come on, man. But I did it. I had no choice. I didn't have time to think about adjusting the position. So I just did it. I rolled it at the 615. How much did it pay me? $83. So I got paid $83 while I let the market do its thing. Again, maybe the market will continue to fly. I'll deal with that at the time. Or maybe it'll come back down. Maybe there'll be corrections and people will be like, okay, we overbought. Let's sell this a little bit. Let's sell some and we'll do this. All right, but we'll see. Like we said, we'll see. For now, I'm making $83 on 8,600, 50% annualized yield. Sucker! It's good. That's good. It's not 238% like last week, but it's still good. All right, let's look at the Q's synthetic value. Yeah, man, it's worth a freaking lot. It's worth 7,130. Boom. I paid 6,100. Boom. But yeah, if I closed out the whole thing, I'm paying the covered call debit, which would kick my ass. So I'm not closing it out. And this thing expires December of this year. Merry Christmas, baby. So we'll wait for that. We'll play around for that. Where will the Qs be then? 700, maybe. I don't know. But again, what do? We got to create. My plan is I'm going to create a separate Q position, well, maybe just Qs. I don't know. I may just play the Qs or may just play IWM. I got to see. But I am still interested in playing this type of investment. And another option is doing just the poor man's covered call. But I don't know. We'll see. Jake or Jimmy, shall I say, says, me either, zero patience. Yeah, man, we don't have to. Who the hell says we have to read a damn chart? Screw that crap. Good morning, Bruce. What's going on over here now? There he is. All right. What's going on? Double D, you off today? I'm assuming you are, right? It's Saturday. All right. So that's the Qs. Let's get to the VIX. The VIX, man. Guess what happened to the VIX? It came down. It went down. Last week, man. Last week, it was at 26. When I traded it this week, it's at 18. I don't even know what it's at 1748 now. Wow. Wow. So, okay. So on when did I roll this? I rolled this again. Keep in mind the VIX is different. The VIX you can't buy. The VIX is an index. It's the fear index, quote unquote, right? They call it the fear index. The higher the VIX goes, the more fear the market has. The lower it goes, the more safe the market feels. And yes, I do have some date. Where is it? Thought I had something here. Where do I have that information? Oh, here. It's at 17, which means calm, low volatility. Markets are stable. Risk is perceived as low. Okay. Well, that's great and all, I guess, right? I didn't want it to go down that much, to be honest, based on my position. But anyway, I had a $25 cover call. At the time, it went down to 1830. I rolled it at 25 because, to be honest, I was going to roll it down, but I was like, you know what? I don't trust the news sometimes. I'll just leave it. So I kept it at a 25. I only got 31 bucks though, which is not fantastic considering what I've been making. But $31 on an $800 investment is a 201% yield annualized. Also, keep in mind with my original investment was $800. I've been getting many, many credits along the way. I am now at a expense of $55. So if I can make $55 on next week's trade, we are at house money, which means I paid my original investment. And you know what? I'll have many, many weeks. How many weeks left? 21 weeks left. 21 weeks left. Well, 20 technically after next week. 20 weeks left to make money on house money, if that makes sense. So you know what that means too? I don't have to do this 20. I don't have to do $8 per share out. Because my cost basis is 14. I could sell calls on the VIX at 14, which I won't do. I'll probably just do it at the money or maybe a little above the money and just make a crap load of freaking premium. You know, why the hell not? I can't get it signed early. What's the worst that's going to happen? I don't know. Again, this is my first VIX position. So I'm not saying I'm no expert here, but it's been working. It's been freaking working. Tracker, I guess I didn't do it last week, so I'll gray this out so it's known. But yeah, again, the VIX is at 1748. I mean, look at it, man. The VIX is all over the place. It's just crazy. Crazy. You crazy, man. I love you, but you crazy. All right. The option is currently worth $8.22 per share, which I don't believe that, but that's what it says. And yeah, IV went down to 97%, but yeah, the VIX just works. It just works. And it comes down, it's down. Market's feeling good, but don't be fooled. It may come back up, and that's fine. I'm good with it. I don't really care. I mean, I don't want it to go down actually. But if it does go down to 14 or 15, I keep saying 14 or 15, I'm adding another VIX position. Like, meaning I'm buying a leap. And then I'm going to sell calls on that leap. Right now, this is the VIX 14. So if I have a VIX 15, I'll be good with that. Or VIX 14 too. Right? Number 2. Or VIX 13 if it goes down to 13. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyone play? What do you guys think about this? I know a lot of you do like this play, but if you were thinking about joining on the play, what is your number to do the leap on? You know, because it would be fun to have other people do the VIX trade with me. I don't even have anyone to talk to about the VIX. I'm like riding solo here on the VIX. Because I don't get it. I don't know why people don't trade the VIX. Maybe I'm just getting lucky and it's just going so smooth, which is probably the case. But Double D, Allen, what a week. Hope you guys made bank. Bruce is working. Oh man, going early. Hey, don't worry, I got early baseball game. So as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm actually showering, get my ass to the field. All right, Double D says 15. Allen, I'm looking to do it. I'd like to get in at 14 or 15. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say 14 too, but I'm not going to be greedy. I think 15 is also good. To be honest, 16 is really good too. You know, because again, if you look at the chart, um, it's not usually, it doesn't usually stay like at that range. I think I had an old chart here. You know, it's always in like the 20 range or high teens. So, you know, even 16 I think would do well. But yeah, I'm greedy. I want 15. I don't know. 14, 13. So, you know what? I'm waiting for 10. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, man, it's just another tool in a toolbox of income vehicles. And it's always going to be a tool for me. And I hope I always have a VIX play. I mean, this one, it expires in September of this year, but hopefully I get an opportunity to add a new one before that's gone. Gone, girl, gone. So, yeah. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll certainly let you guys know in the options chat room in the Discord that when I do, because you know I'm watching it. I have to watch it because especially on Tuesdays, I got to roll my position because again, their options contracts are weird. They expire Wednesday morning, so you have to do your trade on the Tuesday afternoon. That's typically when I do it. I actually have to set myself a reminder on my phone every week, or else I'll forget. You know, because I'm freaking working, and by the time I'm done working, the market's already closed. So if I don't do that, I will forget. Alan says, I looked it up a bit ago. I think it averages around 18 or 20. Yeah, exactly. So if it averages around that, to me, like 16 is good. 17, I'm not doing 17. I mean, if it was September, maybe. But since I already have a position, I'm gonna leave it alone. Again, the market it's green. It's relaxed. People are chill. So it maybe continue in that direction and the VIX may continue to come down. Or it could come back up. I don't freaking know, but we'll keep an eye. Okay, so those are the RODY plays. This is actually technically a poor man's covered call because I just have the leap and then I'm selling calls on it. So the VIX is actually a poor man's covered call. But outside of that, I'm also doing the wheel strategy, as you guys know. Now, I'm only doing it on one stock. And yes, it's an individual underlying, but it's TSLL. I've been trading this thing for quite some time, in and out, in and out. And it's fun, man. It's just fun. And, you know, if you believe in Tesla long term, it's not really, you know, and you follow this thing, it's not too concerning, but I'm having fun with it. You know, have I been burnt by this? Yes, but if you're patient, you know, this thing always recovers. And talk about having a good week, man. Let's look at TSLL. Let's just see this. 5-day. 5-day, it's up 31%. I mean, that's nuts. I had 3 puts expiring. Oh no, 2 puts expiring Friday, a 10 and a 9. I think I have to fix this. Yeah, so these 2 expired worthless. I gotta delete. There you go. And then what else I got? So I got another put expiring into earnings. Earnings is next week, by the way. And then I did start to sell covered calls this week. I sold a 15, I sold a 16, and I sold a 17. So what did I do? I did a scatter-do-do. So my cost basis on my TSLL, if I go all the way down, because I did get assigned 400 shares. I got assigned 18, 14, 13, and $12 individually, right? Different dates starting in January. Cost basis for those 400 is $14.25. So selling calls at 15 and higher is gold for me. It's a capital appreciation plus premium. So obviously that's why I started at the 15 and then the 16 and the 17. The 15 expires next week, Friday after earnings. The 16 I went out to 5.1 and then the 17 out to 5.8. So, you know, again, if earnings is fantastic, which is, I mean, I guess that's fine if it is. But if it is, I'll probably get these calls blown through and I'll have to make a decision. Do I let them get assigned and say bye-bye, or do I roll them and try to capture more income, and maybe even roll up. Again, I don't know. I'm playing the wheel a little different this time. Because I'm learning some things on the RODY that I could utilize on the wheel that I wouldn't have thought of doing the normal wheel. And that, again, this is why I'm trying different things, but one thing at a time, because I don't got freaking time to sit on the stupid computer all day. I already do that enough for work. Anyway, I made 88 bucks selling covered calls. I also said, you know what? Screw it. It was yesterday. It was green. I still sold a put. I sold a put on TSLL. I made another 27 bucks on that. And that is a, guess what? A $12 strike, which is under my cost basis. And I'm okay getting assigned under my cost basis. So do you know what this means? This means I have 3 puts and 3 calls over earnings. So do you know what that means? That means I don't give a damn what happens with earnings. It can go up. Great. It goes up. My puts aren't assigned. My calls are blown through. Yes, but I could roll them or let them get assigned. Okay, fine. Great. Whatever. If it goes down, okay, great too. My covered calls are safe. And then I get to sell calls later on when it recovers back. Make sense? Great. All right. Anyway, how much did I make for the week? Let's go take a look. If you're new to options, by the way, the wheel strategy is really where you need to start. And by the way, yes, shameless plug, on Monday morning, 6 a.m., we will have a follow-up from last week's roundtable to talk about the wheel strategy. Just a little maybe more advanced type stuff to get ideas from each other. Hopefully you guys enjoy that video. Right, I thought you'd be coaching baseball this morning, so I slept. Yeah, I'm not coaching at 6 a.m., thankfully, but we do have the first game today. And we got an early game tomorrow too, actually. But yeah, 6 a.m. Believe me, if I wasn't, I'd be doing 6:30. Typically, I like to sleep in a little bit on the weekend, and I do 6:30 when I can. But this weekend, I can't do any. I have to do 6 a.m. if I'm going to do videos this weekend. Yeah, TSLL, it's awesome, man. I mean, the price, of course, helps. If the price was higher, I would hate it because I wouldn't be able to do so many contracts. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, speak the right way, Bruce. Bank, bro. That's how we talk over here. All right, so 115 bucks. I made 115. Yeah. What's up, bro? But that's on 11.6 now because I'm using the money on the covered call. You know, the investments on the shares I actually own. So that's a 51% annualized yield. Is that good? Yes, that's freaking good. Hello. All right, so let's move on to the high yield dividends. Yes, I invest in high yield dividends. Yes, I do. Okay, which ones? Well, STRC. Technically, they're a preferred stock, and they actually do pay a dividend, but they only pay once a month. However, I did see an announcement. Everyone kept tagging me on X that they are going to pay twice a month. And then on top of that, I think SATA is also going to pay twice a month on the opposite weeks. So between these two suckers, you're going to be getting paid every single week. And that is why I am building out these positions in both. The problem is the price never goes down anymore. So I'm not getting the discount. You know, again, anything under 100 on both is a discount. But STRC, I actually have I think it's like a $93 cost basis. So it does pay me to buy it at 99. But I did buy 10 at 99 the other day. And I'm going to continue. Anything under 100, I'll buy STRC and SATA. I will increase my position because these are more consistent income. And if I have more consistent income in my bill pay account, I feel much better. I don't want any more unpredictability. You know, I want some unpredictability, but I would like half consistent, half is on me. Does that make sense, Chico? All right. Anyway, let's get to this. Sergio, good morning, but you are late. What is the penalty for being late? I don't know. Are they splitting the payment between the 2 weeks or paying full each time? Well, yeah, of course they'll split it. Yeah, they're not going to pay you the same thing they're paying, but every 2 weeks. forget it. That would double the yield, right? So obviously, I don't even want them to do that, to be honest, because then the fund won't last. But yeah, so whatever you're getting now, what is it, like 95 cents? So you're getting like what, 40, 48 cents, 47 cents every 2 weeks. It depends on what they're yielding. What if they raise their yield, then obviously, yeah, you get paid more. I got a feeling they may be raising their yield again because SATA just raised it. So I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. All right. Anyway, what else do I own? I own Chippy. Because again, why do I own these? Because I'm not doing as much options as I was, and I want to just buy some funds to have my money work for me. Plus, the market was down so much. So I made, I bought some Chippy. I make 16.15 a week, or at least last week on Chippy. I made 11.14 on GDXY. T-Spy, again, this is the 0 DTE trades on the SPY, which again, I cannot do. I can only watch from afar, like Double D and Allen and all of them. They're having fun doing it, but I'm doing it through T-Spy. They're doing the trades for me, and they're going to pay me monthly. And I'm good with that for now. YQQQ, this is like inverse Q. So as the market recovers, this fund will continue to trade at a discount. And it'll be somewhat of a hedge against the Q position, which is good and bad, right? If the market really runs, then the value of the Q will not work. So how do you treat this position? I mean, it's a good question. I don't really know, honestly. I'm dipping in slowly, and I'll play it by ear, but I do, because I don't have any hedge type plays outside of buying the puts and the RODY. But whatever, that's not what we're talking about for now. For now, we're just talking about how much did I make. I made 29.16. All right. So the summary is for this week, I made $22 on Open. I made 45 on SOFI, 36 on IWM, 83 on Qs, 31 on the VIX, 115 on TSLL, 29.16 high yield dividends, and that's a total income of 361.16. If I go here, it's stated that my weekly goal, where is it? Is 500. So obviously, if I made 361, does that balance? Yeah, 361. That is short by $168. Last week, I was over by 392. So obviously, my aggressive ass trades last week helped out offset the damage or the down, the shortness of this week, right? Because again, you can't be short on your payments, right? Or else someone would be knocking on your door. So anyway, I made 332 plus the 29.16, 361. Current capital used, about 34,733. That is a 1% return for the week and a 54% annualized. All right. And annualized income, what is that doing? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it wasn't a great week, but you saw when your covered calls get blown through, it's really hard to make as much money versus when your calls are essentially close to or at the money or out of the money, right? So it's tough. So you have to balance out these trades, make sure they work. But again, I have various sources now. I got the high yield dividends. I got the the options, and of course the wheel. I mean the RODY and the wheel. All right. Yeah, so we'll get to the active holdings. Let me catch up on the comments. SB, good to see you. Yeah, SB's dealing with the same as me. We got Capity Duda. SATA is now 13%. Yeah, strategy doesn't have to, though, because they've been recovering without raising their dividend. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but SATA has to raise their dividend because they're not hitting that 100, right? They got to hit that 100 in order to make some money, right? To buy some Bitcoin and repeat. Bruce, I haven't ventured into Chippy yet because it's so expensive. But there's been no. Yeah, I mean, it's so expensive, but what does that mean, really? I mean, just think about, like, say you're investing $1,000. Does the share price really matter? What matters is it a good investment? Whether you get one share of something or 1,000 shares of something, who cares about the share price? Get the better investment. That's, I mean, that should be the way we think. We shouldn't think by number of shares ever, because then we just be buying penny stocks. We'd be like, woohoo! I'm not saying I didn't do that, because I've done that before. All right, let's see. Only time you could buy chippies on a dip. Yeah, I mean, right now is not a good time. Yeah, because everything's running. But yo 50, good morning, good morning. Share price doesn't matter when you can buy partial shares. Well, that too. Yeah, that helps, because back in the day, back in my day, I couldn't buy partial shares. But yeah, you're right. No, if you actually can't afford a share, that makes it, that justifies the statement, then I'll say. All right. All right. So let's go to the active holdings. This is where we stand. Again, all this is, it's a summary from top to bottom. Like, if you look at open, I paid $1,830 for the original position. I've made $1,473. So technically, I'm out of pocket $357. But big ass but here, I could lose additional $2,000, because that is the spread between the puts. So technically, I could be down $2,357. All right, if that makes sense. But once I make another $357, I'm at house money essentially. But it all depends on how things go. Open is, yeah, this is, again, this is of the RODY positions. This doesn't include high yield dividend allocation. I don't know if I can't include that. I don't got time for that. But anyway, I'm still down on the open position. That's the summary. SOFI, I'm down as well, but I'm only down 11%, so it's getting a little better. The indexes, I'm doing really good. I'm up 174% on IWM. I'm up 114% on Qs, and up 114% on the VIX. So, I mean, obviously, much better outcome than previous weeks, because we've been in the crapper for quite some time. So yeah, we're up about 71% overall. But again, I wanted a recovery. I didn't want it like this. I wanted it a little slower, but we'll see what happens. We got so if next week is red, I know people are gonna be pissed at me saying this, but I'm not gonna be mad if next week's red. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be like, good. Good. Let it be red, But at the same time, if it's green, yes, I'm also be happy. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. All right. Let me catch up on the comments. I did. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some content on my Qs. I want to talk about the Qs, and I'm glad SB is here for this. All right. So Chippy is a good investment. Next dip, I'm in. You still can't. Well, you know what? These old brokerages can, suck it. How about that? They got to get with the times, like what I am so sick of. I'm not even going to call out any brokers, but some of these are just so horrible. Garbage. They think, and people still use them because of the name, but it just aggravates me. Semi is a stepbrother of Chippy. If you want to lower, yeah, Semi though, they get very, very little appreciation. Ziggers are better than RODY on big moves up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as long as you're leaving that one leap open, right? Then yeah, it's definitely better. Or well, it depends where, I guess, the other call is too. It depends on the position of it. But yeah, right off the bat, from the beginning, of course. And I don't have a zebra right now. I don't know why, but because I don't know, maybe I could do the zebra on IWM and keep the RODY on the Qs. That's a thought too. Because again, I'm done with this individual ticker crap. I just can't do it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. All right. Alan's with me. All right. There we go, Alan. Anyone else? Anyone else want red for Monday? Monday red? I can't believe we're saying this, right? But Monday red. All right. So what do we do now? All right. So let's talk about the Qs. So here's my deal on the Qs. What do we got? We're at 45 minutes in. Jeez. So my covered call got blown through. Again, it's a 615. So although it got blown through, yeah, my synthetic is worth something, right? It's worth, whatever. It's worth it. It's worth whatever we plugged it in here, right? So we plugged all that value in here. So if I go here, like this says 77.67, that's the long call, right? If you can see my screen, 70. So this is where I got the value. I made it bigger. Hopefully you guys can see this, but this is what the value of that option is. So that's where I pulled it from. Now, I want to go here to the beginning and run the numbers. So how much would it cost if I closed, or how much would I make if I closed out the whole position? All right. All right. So let's calculate it. All right. So let me do equals. I'll pull from the freaking pull directly. So equals. So that's worth that. All right. And that's current. Yeah, it's going to be per share, by the way. So that's the call. How much would it cost to close the put? Again, we'll go to the holdings. $29 per share. Okay. How much would it cost to, how much would you make selling the put that you bought? A little less. It's a little less valuable now, but we'll go here and it's worth $23 per share. All right. So right off the bat, on the synthetic alone, you could make $7,130. But you ain't getting out of that easy. See this 615? You got to pay the money to close that sucker. So if I go here, and this is the call I opened. Right now, it shows it cost $34.44. So if I go here, I got to type negative 34.44. So it's saying that I would make a net of 3,686 if I closed out the position. I mean, to be honest, from experience, I probably wouldn't get that much. I'd probably get a little less. It never works out as smooth as it looks. Let me just say that. So if you're gonna ever close it out for what you think is a profit, have a cushion. Have a cushion. Now, is that worth it? I mean, it depends. How much have I made on covered calls so far? Well, let's see. So far, I've made, if I add up all the premium from day one, I've made $5,941. How much have I paid on the synthetic part of this in total? Well, let's go here. I paid out $6,100. So between the options premium and the synthetic, I'm still out of pocket $159. But this is telling me I can make 3,600 closing out the position today. So I would be up 3,527 if I said, you know what, Qs, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. But I don't want to be out of the Qs. I don't. I really don't. So what's my next step? Well, my next step is over here. How much would it cost me to create a new position in the Qs? And what is the price of the Qs, by the way? I don't even know. All right, it's at 648. All right, so when I think about rolling this up, I don't want to go crazy, to be honest. I would probably think, even 630, right? 630. 630. Keep the same put spread, right? That's a $25 put spread. So do a 605 there, right? And then covered call. To be honest, if I tried to do the 630, that would probably not, I don't know. I may have to do the 625. Let's try the 630, I guess. Let's try it at the money. So how much would it cost to buy a call 630? Same expiration at the current. What is the expiration, by the way? Well, let's check. December 18th. So let's go to trade. Let's type in Qs. And let's go to, let's get rid of that. December 18th. Here it is. What the heck did we say? 630? I think we said 630. Buy call. I'm going to go under last. 67.26. 60. This will be a negative because it's going to cost me 67.26. I know it's not at the money, SB, but to be honest, I don't want it at the money because our asses will drop if I do at the money. So that's why I'm choosing a little lower. All right. How much would it cost to sell? I mean, how much would it pay me to sell a put at 630? It's over here. Go to last. 34.39. 34.39. Also, the buy put, let's see, 605. How much would that cost us? Oh, it's not in the picture. Hold on. Okay. Of course, I have to click all. Damn it. Hate when this happens. All right. 27.21. That's a negative because that's an expense. So this would cost me $6,000. $6,000 to start that new position. All right. And I'm getting 36.86 from that. So now it's all about this call credit. So let's see what I can get for this call credit. 630 I did put there. Let me make that 14 again. All right, so the call we're looking for next week, obviously. Wait, what is this? December. I wasn't using this, was I? 28. Hope I wasn't using that. Let me just double check. God. What was the put? 605. 605, 27.21. Yeah, no, we're good. All right. Sorry. Just gotta make sure I'm not screwing up here. All right, so let's go to next week. Next week is what, the 24th? Don't forget the Qs, they have daily expirations. So you have to find the Friday because I'm still trading weekly, even though I can trade more. But let's say I do a 630, which yes, it is in the money. I do understand that. But I'm just again, it's just adjusting the position. 630 would pay, oh, wrong side. Duh. I'm like, what the hell? 20.71 per share credit. 20.71. Okay. So that would be 3,937 out of pocket. Yeah. So if I offset with this, that's 251 out of pocket. And my thought process is I don't want to pay. I'm not paying. Screw that. So what I'd have to do is now probably do a 625, which is even more in the money. SB gonna freak out even more. This is a 24.90. 24.90. Okay. 24.90. So that between the two. Okay, so that's better. So all in all, I can adjust my synthetic up 15 bucks. I can adjust my covered call up $10 and get $168 credit. Is that worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Right? But again, if the market tanks on Monday, then I'm letting it be. I'm gonna let it be, and then I'll be fine. But if the market's green, I got to do something like this. I have to. So yes, pain in the ass, 100% pain in the ass, but it's fun. It is. It may not seem like it, but it's actually fun because it's like a puzzle, right? You're putting the pieces together, and you got to math it at the same time. Is this worth it? How do we get to a point where it's mathematically worth it to us to adjust this? And how does that benefit us, right? Because yes, of course, I can roll this to a 650, to a 645. But you know what? What happens if the Qs tank again? That's why I don't want to do it. That's why I'm rolling it up a little bit at a time. You know, even I could roll it up $5, but again, to me, it wouldn't not even worth my time. $5. I think if I'm at a 625 covered call, I could probably then start rolling it up for credit, 626, 627, something like that. That is my thought. Again, but my thoughts are wackadoo. So you know, I'm not saying I know what I'm doing here. I'm just having fun. Oh no, Bruce is going to work. I took too long. See, how much would it cost the zebra to set up? I don't know. Something to talk about maybe over the weekend. Let's talk about that in the Discord for sure. But probably it would cost too much, honestly. I'd rather do the zebra on IWM. I no way I can afford a zebra on the Qs. Sad to really grumpy. Come on, man. Down? Wait, we're calling 76,000 down. Are we really doing that already? You are grumpy. That is not down. Yeah, I know. I didn't get to do that much detail, but something to think about. I wonder why. Any news? Yeah, that I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna look at all that right now, but I don't know because I gotta end this, unfortunately. Iran said they're closing the strait again. Yeah, that's the news apparently. All right, so SB left his at 625, but rolled. Wow. So what did you obviously paid, right? A debit. How much did you pay, and is that worth it? And why is it worth it? Again, just questions to think about. I don't know. So you rolled it up to 620. Yeah, I mean, I like the 625 for the synthetic. But again, I'm trying to avoid out of pocket. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But thanks for being here. Should we play some music? Music? Maybe. Maybe not, right? But yeah, so this is where I stand. What do I do? What do I do? Give me your thoughts in the comments. You know, after, for those of you watching after the live, of course, let me know your thoughts on this, or if you have a thought. You know, I'm just curious. But all right. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial freaking advisor, and this video was for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back next week. But yeah, no, for real. Every Saturday, I'll try to do an options update. This Monday, SB, I'm not sure if you're interested in the wheel. If you are, come join us on the round table. If you feel like getting up at the crack of dawn, we're just going to go into some stuff, right? Some details, and maybe learn a thing or two about a thing or two, hopefully. But yeah, until then, if not, you know, we can see everyone next Saturday at the next update. I'll play the RODY song or songs, maybe. Maybe I'll play both. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll call it a day. Does it sound good? Yeah, that sounds good. All right, can we shrink this up here? It doesn't fit. It doesn't quite fit. Although, do we care about out of the money? I didn't even adjust that anyway, so I don't care. Let's do a 150. There we go. That's better. Kind of. Maybe. Whatever. All right. Anyway, guys, think of a keyword. I'm going to play 2 songs or 1 song, and we'll think of a keyword.
Meet Rod, more bang for the buck. Wall Street suits, your time is up. Meet Rowdy, more bang for the buck. Meet Rod, more bang for the buck. Wall Street suits, your time is up. Stack that premium, protect my 6 upside open, but I hedge that risk. Garage born plan, average Joe taking a stand. Roddy's the method, RD is the man, RD is the man. Yeah, didn't wait on permission. I picked up the weight, phone in my hand, early hours, learning to take a rise toward patience. No room for excuses. Every choice mattered cause the outcome it uses. I stopped handing the wheel, the voices I trusted, took responsibility. That's when it functioned. If it worked, that was earned. If it failed, that was mine. Family in my vision, so I stayed on the grind. This wasn't about hustle or flexing the grind. It was structure and rules I could run every time. RODY came from method with discipline attached. Built for the people who carry the weight. Caddy the weight, so meet RODY. More bang for the buck. Wall Street suits, your time is up. Stack that premium, protect my 6 upside open, but I hedge that risk. Garage born plan, average Joe taking a stand. All D is the method. All D is the man. All D is the man. I don't chase green candles, I monetize waiting. Data working daily while they're guessing and praying. Premium stacking, structure over sensation. Volatility paying rent with no conversation. Wrist boxed and tight before the play even starts. Calm under pressure, John Wick with the plan. They argue direction, I structure the trade. Let volatility work while emotion gets played. Fast money flashy, but it fades when it's pressed. I want repeatable wins with my downside dress. Not a lottery ticket, this a blueprint I trust. Level the field, get more bang for the buck. Meet RODY, more bang for the buck. Wall Street suits, if your time is up. Stack that premium, protect my 6 upside open, but I hedge that risk. My eyes born playing, average Joe taking a stand. RODY's the method, RD's the man, RD's the man, is the man. Family to your head. I don't need hype, I don't need a crowd. Just rules I respect when the pressure gets loud. This ain't for everyone, that's part of the design. RODY rewards the ones who take responsibility every time. RODY, RODY the method. RODY, the people, the people, the people. RODY. If you want it, carry the weight. Meet RODY.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo. Yeah. Early mornings before the sunlight, house still sleeping. Screens already lit, one desk, one plan. Every click gotta mean something. Born in the garage, one outlet, one extension. Pressure taught discipline, not talking, just intention. No suit fed my confidence, no hand-me-down plays. Bills on the counter taught me risk has a face. They said trust the system, I trusted the work. Every loss paid tuition, every win left a scar. I heard a cricket in the quiet, steady chirp in the dark. Like patience beats panic when you're playing it smart. If I eat, that's on me. If I fall, same name. From the people for the people, no shame in the gang. This ain't Wall Street.
This RODY, hey.
Bang for the buck, move slow, move low. Stack that premium, protect my 6. Upside open, but I hedge that risk. This ain't luck, I'm ready. Garage born mine with the market steady. I don't chase green candles, I monetize waiting. Data working daily while they guessing and praying. Risk defined entry, exit already mapped. Know what I lose before the order gets tapped. Premium stacking, structure over sensation, volatility, paying rent with no conversation. I don't need direction, I trade behavior. Let emotion burn out, let the numbers stay paper. Fast money, flashy, but it fades when it's pressed. I want repeatable wins with my downside dress. Not a lottery ticket, this a blueprint I trust. Level the field, get more bang for the buck. This ain't Wall Street, this RODY. Bang for the buck, move slow, move low key. Stack that premium, protect my six. Upside open, but I hedge that risk. This ain't luck, I'm ready. Garage born mine with the market steady. Raj, cricket, patience building the minutes. Risk known, I don't trade what I don't own. Not for everyone, let's keep it exact. Pressure make diamonds, not internet caps. No handouts, no hero, no suit to impress. Just structure, discipline, time doing reps. RODY the method, remember the name. From the people, for the people, but not everyone plays. Born in a garage. Born in a garage. Yeah, born in the garage, inspired by cricket. Built for the people, but not everyone gets it. Born in a garage.
This one's for the stackers, the believers, the ones who saw the future before the world did. They laughed when the white paper hit the net. Said it wouldn't last, yeah, I remember that bet. But the blocks kept rolling, tick-tock chain. Hard money rising while the printers go insane. 21 million, that's the final command. No central bank could change in this plan. Those around the world keep truth in the chain. Freedom money breaking every fiat domain. Cold storage lock keys in my hand. Self-sovereign living, yeah, I understand. Volatility storms, but the mission stays true. Stack sats every day, that's what we do. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2 to O to the 2 to C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. TikTok, next block, hear the band. Bitcoin rising across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Building our future with the hardest money known to man. Fiat keeps falling while the debt grows tall. Trillions printed up just to cover the fall. But Bitcoin marches like digital gold. Every 4 years the same story told. Hash rate climbing like a rocket in flight. Miners worldwide keeping truth in the fight. Permissionless rails running night and day. A monetary system no king can sway. From Wall Street towers to a farmer's land. Bitcoin leveling the economic sand. Not your keys, not your coins, understand. This is the revolution already planned. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2 to O to the 2 to C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. TikTok, next block, hear the band. Bitcoin rising across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Building our future with the hardest money known to man. Now listen close, here comes the move. Corporate treasury with a Bitcoin groove. Company called Strategy changed the game. Michael Saylor stacking sats in his name. Balance sheet loaded, conviction strong. Playing the Bitcoin century long. And the CRC spelled out so clear. STRC the preferred right here. Preferred stock ride in the Bitcoin way. Yield and conviction for the bold and the brave. While the world still wonders what this will be. We're building the future on BTC. Stack the sats, hold the line. Tick-tock block every time. Freedom money can't be banned. Bitcoin rise across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2 to O to the 2 to C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. 21 million written in sand. Bitcoin standards sweeping the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Generational wealth built by BTC's plan. This is not financial advice. I hope you were entertained. If not, I'll do better next time.
All right. Thank you all for hanging out. Keyword today is, yeah, I like that. Let's do Red Monday. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the keyword. The keyword today is Red Monday, because Monday's going to be red. We going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. So yeah, if you want to prove it to myself and all the other suckers out there, you got to type in Red Monday after the video is posted on X or YouTube. All right, I'm out of here. I'm already running late. Have a good one. We'll talk soon. Later.